rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It is the #1 Chief Rock and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Nighttime joint, the Knicks at Night podcast. Salute everyone. Salute, salute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In-game is in the building. Miguel P. What's good? Salute, y'all. Salute, y'all, man. I've been I was gonna give the vocal cords a little break for a minute, man, just to, but I really want to rock tonight, man. I got something that I want to talk to y'all about, and I didn't send the joint out to everyone first because I wanted some time to rock the mic some, talk to y'all individually about a few things, right? So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna send the link anyway I'm gonna put the bat signal in the air. Oh shoot, that ain't the bat signal. This is the bad signal. All right, let me send this. Let me put this in the air. I think I got everybody. I hope I got everybody. But hey, Felipe, what's good, man? All right, I see y'all. Yeah, I know. I see that. I see that. I'm gonna speak to that. Right. I'm gonna speak to that in a few moments. Salute to all the members of the channel. And if you're not a member, consider becoming a member, man, supporting the channel and things of that sort. Salute to everybody on X. If you're watching us on X, man, follow your main man, Uncle Freezy, on X. Man, we give out a lot of content on X, bro. And for some reason, man, my crew on X, they won't follow for some reason. Right. So all right, so here's the conversation that we need to have. Right? Here's the conversation that we need to have. Giannis is going to be traded. A lot of teams are interested. A lot of teams are going to be making moves. James Harden is going to be on the move. Giannis is going to be on the move. A lot of people are going to be on the move before Thursday's deadline, right? A lot of people are going to be on the move before Thursday's deadline or up until Thursday's deadline, right? The Knicks have somehow righted the ship, right? The Knicks have somehow righted the ship, and At the same time, they have a tough stretch coming up. Right? So now, again, I didn't get a chance to talk about that, but I'm gonna get to it though. There are some things I'm gonna get to, right? But I have to say this thing first. The most important thing that's gonna happen this week, and hear me clearly on this. Hear me clearly on this. The most important thing this week that's going to happen around the NBA is Leon Rose is going to make the decision to go all in or to continue to build. That's the most important decision. All 30 teams, all 400 players or so, all the front offices, all the news outlets, right? All the playoff teams, all the lottery teams are going to be hinged on or going to be attached to if Leon Rose goes all in. This trade deadline is the biggest moment of Leon Rose's tenure as excuse me, as president of the New York Knicks. And here's why. And then I know it sounds crazy, right? Like, oh man, the content creator is out here creating content. Well, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, that's that's part of what I do, right? But when I sat, because I was gonna jump on, I wanted to jump on about 8 o'clock, right? And then I was like, no, let me think about this thing some more. And so I sat around and thought about it, man, wrote some things down on paper, right? Just thought about a few things, right? And the thing that stood out to me is this. Is this the moment that Leon Rose decides this is the year, this is the moment, and we're going to go all in this moment? Right? And what I mean by go in this moment is the championship is here for the taking. A lot of the teams that looked impenetrable now look flawed. Some of the contenders have been taken off the board, right? There's no way Tyrese Halliburton is coming back next month. There's no way Jason Tatum is coming back next month, right? In this moment, for Leon Rose, thinking tactically, do you make the series of moves that make you unquestionably the favorite to win the NBA championship? And has this been the plan the whole time? Now, here's the thing. There are 3 things you can do, right? Right? There are 3 things you can do. There are 3. Jay, what's good, bro?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Ain't nothing. I'm good. I'm just saying something to our crowd real quick. Just bear with me for a moment, man.
I'm bearing.
So there are 3 things that Leon Rose can do, right? The one thing is go all in. The only thing that matters to Leon Rose and the Knicks is June. That's it. Not free agency, not the NBA draft, not contract extensions, right? Not development of the youth, none of that. The direction is, the destination is June 2026. That's all that matters. That's one option. And with the trade deadline looming, will Leon Rose be aggressive at the trade deadline to go all in. Does Leon Rose have the Masai Ujiri gene in him where he can build a championship contender at the trade deadline? Does he have that in him? Right? Has he been building for this moment? Will Leon Rose treat this trade deadline and treat this season as if the Knicks are the Toronto Raptors of 2019 and go all in? Damn the future, right? Damn the future. Damn the past. The only thing that matters is June 2026. And while that seems like an impossible play, Masai Ujiri traded a fan favorite in DeMar DeRozan. He traded a valuable young center in Valanciunas, right? He made a lot of moves in order to surround Kawhi Leonard so that they can make their run at an NBA championship. Is that a part of what Leon Rose intends to do? Now, here's the thing with that. That's not a decision that you come to overnight, right? That's a decision that you have to stew on, right? Because in that, you may have to trade away some fan favorites in order to make that significant run at June 2026. And as Knicks fans, do you have the stomach to sit through those moves knowing that June 2026 is everything for us? As a Knicks fan, do you have the stomach for that? Right? Can you see one of your fan favorites be traded away knowing that Leon Rose, the organization, and everyone else have all their red dot lasers laser focused on one target? And that's the NBA championship in June 2026. Right? Or, and here's the pivot. Here's the reverse of that. Here's the reverse of that. Will Leon Rose do nothing and build this team in the model of the 90s Knicks? No major trade, right? No major acquisition, right? No Mitch Richmond, no Chris Webber, no Chris Mullen, no Isaiah Thomas, right? You don't trade for Dominique Wilkins, right? Will the Knicks keep this core intact and build steadily like the Knicks did in the 90s? Now, while that didn't yield a championship, what that did yield is 2 runs to the NBA Finals, one in the first half of the 90s and one at the end of the 90s, right? They made borderline great trades like the Latrell Sprewell trade, the Charles Smith trade, to bring in guys. But remember, when you build in that way, that doesn't guarantee you a run at a championship. Now, in certain years, you'll be able to get it together and make the finals. But as a Knicks fan, how much patience do you have in waiting for the "this is our year" chant? This is our year mantra, right? How much emotional storage do you have in watching the Knicks try and fall short, try and fall short, try and fall short, try and get a little bit further, but may not have enough, try and make it to the finals, and then lose a heartbreaker? Like how much emotional storage do you have for that? Right? The Knicks of the 90s, they were a great, great, great team. From 1989 to about 2000, the Knicks were a model winning franchise. A model winning franchise. From about 89 to about 2000, the Knicks were about as consistent as you can get when it comes to a second round or higher playoff team with championship upside. And so when you have those two choices, you're looking at Leon Rose. Do you want Leon Rose to go all in? The only goal is a championship in June of 2026. Would you prefer to build this thing out with veterans, young veterans, where you can have a decade of sustained success? Maybe you get to the finals, maybe you don't. You get really good basketball for about 10 years. Maybe there are a couple of deep playoff runs in there. Maybe 1 year when everything clicks right, you may go to the finals. Or do you want what's behind door number 3? Star search for a young star to build a dynasty starting at the trade deadline. Door number 3 is the young megastar before his prime. You bring him in, you develop your young kids, and you look to build, you look to be great. Championship may not be the goal right away, right? But you're looking to knock off teams younger than you that may have more promise than you, like the Detroit Pistons, such as the Boston Celtics, such as the Philadelphia 76ers. So Leon Rose has a lot of decisions to make. A lot of decisions to make. Is your goal June 2026? Is your goal to replicate the 90s Knicks? Or is your goal to try to put together a Kobe and Shaq type dynasty where you can win 3 championships in 3 years? What do you say to that, chat? What do you say to that? Jay, what's good, bro?
Chilling, brother.
Yeah,
Just
man.
listening.
You had a lot of stuff on my mind, man. What's on your mind, man? You ready to get Giannis?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't care. I cannot be honest with you. I'm so tired of talking about Giannis that I'm ready to get Theonis or whatever the hell his name is, the other one. Like,
Right.
it's so corny at this point. Like, I don't understand like, if the man's out 4 to 6 weeks, why are we even still talking about it? Like, how come we haven't stopped talking about it? We are on the. We have one goal this year:
What's that goal?
win a championship, go to a championship, right?
Wasn't
And
that the goal last year?
right,
Right.
that should be the goal every year.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when we're Knicks fans, right? So we've been through the peaks, the valleys, right? The mountaintops, long time ago. But we have come up to like where you just have just enough gear, and there's about another 100, 300 feet, and you ran out of gear, and you just gotta say, all right, I did my best. I did that. That was the 90s. That was the 90s Knicks.
Okay.
Right? If I'm gonna keep it 5 million with you. if
Of course.
always, that wasn't even necessary to say. If it's late, I'm old. It, if he didn't hurt himself, and it was as easy as people are making it out to be, right? Oh well, let's just swap Cat for him, and that'll do it, and this will do that, and that. It's not how trades work. That's not how this trade would work.
Right.
None of that would work this way. Matter of fact, at this point, if you want Giannis, or however he wants to pronounce it, you would have to probably give up Cat and OG. You guys ready to do that? Right? And then this is your return. The Greek Freak, Kuzma, and Portis. Because that, at this point, they're no longer just taking, Cat, maybe, first of all, let me just say this, get this out the way. No one's taking Yabu. So don't throw him in any of your dream trades or any of your, possible trades. None of that stuff. All right? But right now, from what all the looks that I've been seeing, all things I've been reading, and don't forget this. Another thing, if you're not bringing his brothers over here too, you're gonna have a rough time getting this man. So we are a team that just had a good sit down together. We're on a 6-game winning streak. Just took out the Lakers. Did we have, let me just ask anybody in the chat, did we have the freak for that game versus the Lakers? You know, the Lakers, the big old bad Lakers. No. The answer is no. I would go for some tweaks, but I'm not even sure we really need the tweaks. I think the only tweak that really needs to be happening is the lineups, the rotations, how to bring people in and out, and protecting that perimeter. Besides that, we are a winning team. So, I think, like, if you're sitting back here and you still want to trade for this injured man and give up somebody who leaves the league in rebounds to do so,
right?
And not only leads the league in rebounds, but now has took on a role of, sure, I could get you 30, but if I get you 12, 20, and 6, am I a beast? Yes, that's a beast. All right? That's still a double-double, and you won the game, and he's a big reason why. So, like I told you yesterday, coming from where I come from, a good sit-down is a good sit-down. And when you sit down and you get yourself together and you square things out, because I'm like about here, right here, with the Giannis trade.
Okay.
Like, you see where my hand is? Look, That's where I'm at. It's above my head. Like, I'm like, now, I will say this. No injury Maybe you got to throw in maybe one or two bench small pieces. You get back and Porter, so I do like. Sure, I do that trade because all that nonsense about Brunson can't play with him, I don't believe that. Not one drop. I do believe it wouldn't be his team anymore, but I will tell you that could they play together? Of course they could. They're basketball players. What I don't understand what it is that we don't get, like, as far as when I say we, right? I don't even like to put myself in that own thing or you or whatever, but like Knicks fans have, like, you've been a Knicks fan for a long time, right? Like, have you not seen that? What stopped us from winning in 24? It was an injury. Why do we? It was injuries. Sorry, multiple. Now you want to go get a guy who's definitely by far a historically great guy who's injured from possibly months. To answer your question, to June? No, I'm not. Wait, I'm not. No. And then you're ruining, and then because I'm telling you, at this point, they're gonna get whatever they possibly could get because they already look like a dum-dum with the Lillard move, and now Giannis is making them look stupid by trying to push his way out of there, right? And it's we don't got picks to give them. Like this, it's like people not happy with this team. I mean, there's a few trades I would do that were major that would not include him. But if realistically, I don't believe we have to trade. It took me all day. I thought about this all damn day.
Right.
We really don't have to trade. And I believe that we can battle. Detroit's for real. But so was Cleveland last year. I believe in the New York Knicks. I'm a big time believer. I believe in our front office. I believe they know what's best for us. I believe in Brunson, Cat, Mitch, OG.
Hey, so let me jump in right here. So there are a few things that I think we absolutely have not put on the table for conversation, and I think it's the perfect time to put on the table for conversation.
Let's do that.
Right,
I'm gonna try some headphones.
right,
Go ahead. Yeah.
right. So thing number one that we should put on the table for conversation is Mike Brown a championship winning coach? That's the first thing we should start. That's what we should start our conversation with. Because regardless of the pieces you get, you can get Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Ant-Man, Wemby. But if Mike Brown is not a championship winning coach, then it doesn't matter. And I know that's an extreme, right? I know that's an extreme. But the point I'm getting at is if Mike Brown's not a championship winning coach, then if we stay pat, then Mike Brown is going to struggle with winning a championship with this group. Now, am I saying Mike Brown is not? Nope. That's not what I'm saying. Am I questioning Mike Brown and his ability to coach? No. But what I am questioning is people that have not been to the mountaintop can't tell you about the mountaintop. You can't talk about where you haven't been, right? You can't teach what you don't know, right? All we can do is hope Mike Brown has all the answers. That's the first thing. The second thing I think we should absolutely put on the table for conversation is: are we overrating our talent?
Mm.
Are Knicks fans overrating their talent? And not the guys that have proven themselves, not the Karl Anthony Towns, who's a perennial all-star, or Jalen Brunson, that's a perennial all-star. Are we overrating guys that'll be crucial in a deep playoff run? Are we overrating Deuce? Are we overrating Tyler Kolek? Are we overrating Josh Hart? Are we overrating Mitch? Are we overrating Mikal Bridges? That's just for conversation. Now, and when I say that, when I ask that, I'm not saying that these guys aren't any good. What I'm saying is, can any of those guys be upgraded with a trade with the limited resources that we have? Should it be a part of conversation versus how far does chemistry take you and how good of a coach is Mike Brown in that championship range, right? Here's the other thing, the one other thing that we should consider. Is the landscape in the NBA right now built for the Knicks to win 4 rounds of playoff basketball versus the best teams in the NBA as currently constructed? And if there is a doubt that the Knicks can win 4 rounds against very, very, very good teams, I think there are some questions that will lead to conversations that we should have. I would like to start with, are we overrating our in-house talent? That's where my mind wanders to, because the other two, the NBA landscape, speaking about that in February and then how it'll look in June are two different things in my mind. And what Mike Brown looks like in February versus what Mike Brown looks like in June is a projection. But what I do know, what I can speak to is, for the most part, the roster that we're looking at, I've seen this roster take deep playoff runs the last 3 or 4 years. Now I can speak to that. Tori B, what's good?
Good evening, or should I say good morning, good people?
Good mornings.
Good morning.
Yo, I'm still jealous as hell, man. Yo, the other day, Tori, I ain't gonna lie. I hope you don't think I'm putting you on blast. You know I love you, right? You know you my people. I'm never putting you on blast. You know, I always got your back 100%.
Jealous of what?
Shit, how you went on that damn? How Stella got us moved back damn
And
vacation?
I came back to all this dirty, nasty snow in New
nasty
York. I'm
ass
ready to
snow.
go back already. I promise you. I was sitting home the day after I finally made it back home, contemplating retirement. Like, I don't even want to go back to work.
Right.
This is stressing me. I've been at work for 3 days. Like, I should just put my papers in. Like,
Right
I'm tired.
now.
I'm ready to go back to the Caribbean. It's nasty here.
Right. Hey, and what made me get back to it is, I was on a sales call earlier. I was talking to a lady from the Bronx, right? I was like, because I didn't know, I heard her accent. I was like, hey, where you from? And she was like, I was like, oh, let me guess. You from New Rochelle. She's like, I ain't from no New Rochelle. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I was like, the Bronx.
As if it wasn't for the Bronx.
And of course, I can't discuss like the stuff inside the call, but
Right.
It was like the most beautiful spirited lady that you ever want to talk to from the Bronx.
Nice.
As soon as I said, I was like, let me guess, you from New Rochelle. She's like, New Rochelle? That'd be my joke when I know somebody from New York.
She was offended, just so you know.
Right, I know.
Even if she lived one block, like 1 block past the Bronx into Yonkers, you could still get offended immediately.
Yeah.
Yo, you from Yonkers? Yonkers?
Yonkers.
Right over the train track. No,
Right.
Right.
right over the train track.
Now you from Mount Vernon? Mount Vernon.
How dare you?
Right. Yeah. So, but anyway, when I talked to a Tory, you know who the first thing I thought about, right? As soon as I heard of, I was like, golly, Tory be traveling the world on these damn cruises and be getting these damn expensive ass drinks from all these.
Trust me, the only thing I'm drinking right now is coffee, so don't be jealous of me. Looking
Oh
at
wow.
dirty snow, waiting for the clock to tick so I can get out of here.
Oh
That
yeah.
ain't even snow no more. That's icebergs.
That's what the
Exactly.
lady told me. That's what she told me. She was
This
like,
is,
"No,
I
it ain't
mean,
no snow."
today it's actually not that cold out, so the snow
Yeah,
is a
you're
little
right.
slushy, but this stuff been solid sheets of ice since I came home. Like solid sheets of ice. I can't do nothing at my house. Like it's big giant mounds of ice.
Look, I'm not joking. I'm talking quiet because I got so the girl I'm saying backed her car up so I could get into it and just did a little too fast and broke her entire back light, brake light,
Yo,
and
it's
bumper
mountains of ice
back, whatever.
everywhere.
Yep.
They just putting
I'm,
them in piles everywhere. Now they filthy and
mhm.
disgusting, and
Yeah.
they not doing nothing about it. It's gross.
Right.
Yeah,
It is.
it's
It's
gross.
so ugly to look at, right? uh,
In my neighborhood, my neighbors across from me own a construction business, so they use
mm,
their equipment to pile up the snow because we're in the cul-de-sac, so they don't plow nothing over there.
Oh
So they plowing all
wow.
the snow and they put them in giant mounds. So on either side of my garage, in my driveway, I got big mounds of snow. Like I'm coming out the driveway praying every morning, like, please don't let nothing be coming.
Right.
uh,
Please, because I can't even see. Like, please don't let nothing be
yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
God you in the cul-de-sac. I'm on a
Yeah.
huge main road, and
Oh,
we
thank
have the same thing.
Right.
my realtor
And
was a personal
ooh,
friend of mine, and he would not. He was like, "No, you're gonna have an accident. You got to be someplace where there's no traffic. There's no traffic." I'm like, "All right."
man, I love them
So,
cul-de-sacs, man. Anyway,
so yeah,
that's a
Nick.
good.
So yeah, Nick's talk. Well, what was your first
Yeah.
question, Freezy?
Yo, so
What do we think our guys are we overrating our talent? Is that was your first question?
no, it's not a question. It
No,
was a it
that
it was a
topic. That's where we going.
no, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
It was a thought that I had.
Hmm.
And I don't know if the thought is accurate, but I do think we need to talk about it to make
Hmm.
sure that we stay level-headed in how we assess not only our team, but how our team looks going forward.
Right.
Like,
Well,
are we gonna overrate Landry Shamet? Are we gonna overrate Deuce? Are we gonna overrate Josh because they make us
um,
feel good because we watch them play every night?
I don't. I don't. We all know that the regular season and playoffs are two very different things, right?
Yeah,
Right.
And with this team, we also know that these guys have been through the fire in the playoffs.
Mm,
So we've seen them perform at a very high level. So I don't think that we are gonna we're overrating any of the talent that we currently have. I think at this point we know who we have and we know what they're capable of. We also know where they're not capable of. So I don't see it as overrating. I think we may hope to get more out of some people than we would normally get in the playoffs. But I don't think as a Nick fan, watching them in the playoffs and watching them in the regular season, that we're gonna overrate the talent that we have because I think we all pretty clear about the talent that we have. There are some guys that are playing better this season. Like Deuce is definitely playing better this season
right.
than he had. But do we know if that's gonna sustain through the playoffs?
mm.
So far, it has. Like, I'm like, he was lighting it up at the beginning of the season. I'm like, it'll fade, and it hasn't. So I'm hoping that that's something that'll carry into the playoffs. And we see Landry went out with his injury. He was lighting it up again in the season. He went out with his injury, and when he came back, his first game was pretty rough. But since then, he's been pretty consistent with knocking down a three. We all complained about the load management for Mitch, right? We don't like it. None of us do. We want him to play every game, but so far, it's been working. So if we could keep him playing at the level that he's playing at going through the playoffs, like, I don't see us overrating the talent. We actually have quite a bit of talent on that team. So I don't think we would overrate what they can bring to the table. I think, realistically, we already know.
What you think about that, Jay?
I think for the most part, I agree with the assessment, the whole assessment, because I mean, there wasn't any like facts that aren't true in that. You know what I mean? Um, what you said about Deuce and Shamit and is facts. Those are facts. They got better and they sustained they got to a level, and even I still think that even Deuce has another level to get to in my mind now, and I can't believe, yes, I said it. Watching him play, I don't know if he was holding back, or I don't know if he just needed to grow up a little bit, just grow up meaning, get older or mature a little bit and feel more comfortable. But
Or maybe the coach is using them different.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's definitely playing NBA basketball at a good level. Shamit is a wily veteran that you could count on 100%. And Tori said best. I mean, they went out and they came back and they resumed what they were doing. I think if we have one area that gets me, it would be the anointing of Wingstop, because it hasn't been consistent. I was going to say successful.
Correct. Yes, it has
but
been
that's
consistent.
not. Yeah, consistent is the word I'm going to use. It has been successful at some times, but it has not been consistent. So I think that would be like the place that I would center my focus on, because as much as I want to see Mitch play 30 minutes every game, he's successful at what he's doing. And not only that, he is raising his 26 minutes. I was always taught something over 5, you round up, right? So like he is playing a lot more minutes. It was 18 stop. He's coming out. I don't care if he's on fire. I don't care what he's doing. He's coming out. It doesn't seem to have that hard stop tap anymore.
Right.
So I like that, to be honest with you. And we have seen him also do a couple of back-to-backs. A couple of even if it was like a day when he first started it, if there was a game, no game, then game, they would even hold him out that second game. Now he's playing. And when Mitch is successful at what he does, which is often, if there's anybody on the team that makes people better, amongst the people that are on our team that make people better, he is high on the list because the way he sets picks, the way he rebounds, especially offensively, getting the second chance points, all those things is very big for us. So yeah, I think for me, and then even lately, I believe our defense have gotten better. You know,
Much
like
Right.
better.
and yeah, in so many ways, and even down to the colics and the captain. You know, even down to towns, like where everybody who was not playing defense is playing defense, and so uh,
And
I laugh, but I don't know what was said in that meeting, but it worked. You know, like so we look good. I'm happy with what we look at, but we could always improve. And I'll end it here. I hope they do. I hope they continue to improve and want that.
Right.
You know,
and
but it's
before
good.
it slipped my mind, I do want to say we also know that in the playoffs, for as much as it's spotty now, Wingstop is spotty now, for as much as it's like that, in the playoffs, Macau played great defense.
Yeah, he
So
did.
those are things that we know we can look forward to. Like I feel like he was on a whole nother level in the playoffs than he was throughout the entire season last year. So we
Right.
know that there's another level for Macau when it comes to defense. I just felt like in those moments he really shined. Like he got us out of that Boston series.
Right. And
That his defense, he got us out of that Boston series. I will never forget that.
that is one of the things I
Mm,
think is a very underrated point. Our wings played elite defense in the playoffs.
Yes.
Elite defense.
which is where
Now,
it counts.
right now,
Right.
where we had our struggles is the scheme we ran had a hole in it. And I'm not criticizing Tom Thibodeau, right? But y'all noticed last year in the playoffs, teams were getting those open looks off those open three looks off those deep wings.
Hmm.
But when you have a wing on one side of the floor and another one defending at the top of the key, that opposite wing is going to be vacated. It's going to be defended by Hart and Brunson, right? And we know Brunson's not a great defender, and we know Josh is little. He looks big, he plays big, he acts big, but he's really small, right? Will we be able to overcome that in the playoffs, or do we need an addition?
Think we could use in addition, but if we don't get it, I still think we have what we need. Like I feel like anything we pick up is going to be for reassurance, not because we can't sustain without it. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, I think that's
I
what I was
just
trying to say.
I just don't I don't think that we need to pull away from any of our core players and any of our regularly used bench players to go out there and get something to try to acclimate that into our system now. Like I just feel like it'll mess up the chemistry that we're trying to build with the team that we already have. You can go out there, you could get a ball handler. I think that's great if that's what you want to go out there and get, but where they playing at?
Right.
And when are they playing? Like Mike Brown already has his rotation set. Like Shamit and Deuce are coming off the bench, and I hope Kolick.
Me
But
too,
we don't
so
even
bad.
know if he's going to use him. Like I feel like Kurt Kolick has earned the right to play, and I know people, and I hear it all the time. They leery about taking him into the playoffs because they feel like he's not seasoned enough, but I think people overestimate exactly what it is that we need. We don't need Kolek to play 35 minutes a game. You need him to fill in the blanks. So if you take him and put him out there for 5 or 6 minutes a half, he can sustain and get your guys rest until you can get them back in the game. And he's actually good at what he does. So those 6 or 7 minutes that he's out there, he can get your offense moving. And before the defense can adjust to him, you can pull him out the game and put your regular guys back in. So you don't need him to be the guy. You just need him to be an anchor to get the guy rest. So again, if we don't go get nobody, I don't really think we need anybody. Like, I think we have everything we need in house. We just need to keep playing them so that they're prepared for the big show. Because we all know we're going to the playoffs. So, barring some major catastrophe, the Knicks are going to the playoffs. So once
Injuries,
they have,
barring major injuries, the Knicks are
right,
a playoff team.
right, right. So as long as you bring, you can't bring everybody, right, and we know that. But I think Kolek and Mo should be going along with the crew. They should be getting those minutes that they need to get themselves acclimated so that they can play. But I don't think we need to go out and shake our team up and throw away talent that we could probably use going down the line just to get a guy who's going to come off the bench ninth. He's going to be our ninth man. Like, he's not going to be the eighth man. He's not going to be sixth man. He's going to be the eighth person, the ninth person coming off the bench. So,
I mean, even the point about Kolek taking, time so our, JB could rest or whoever could rest,
right.
Deuce, whoever. He can even play alongside them. Like the amount of the mixtures and plays that they could put together because of that is beautiful. When they played together and they had the smaller lineup, even when they took McHale out during the Emirates and they put him next to him and the big men were in there, that looked good too. So like the fact is that we have what we need. You would have to, because I'm gonna put this in the right words. It would have to be like oh wow, that's interesting for me to say, sure, I'd do that. You know what I mean? But I don't really, I haven't, all we keep hearing about is, Giannis this, Giannis that. Like I told you in the beginning, I'm done with that conversation. I'm so tired of it. And we're talking about someone who's hurt, so that changes everything. It changes the entire team. So I don't, unless you're talking about somebody. I like what you said. You're talking about like a ball hand, like a guard of some sort. Here's one of the biggest issues. The real true tradable person is untradeable. Right? And that would be Yabusele. And if I could, I would trade him. But no one's taking him. So no one's taking him. We're going to have to stick with what we have. But if someone took him, I definitely would probably get that. See, that's tough. See, you're right. It's tough because then what's Kolek going to do? So, yeah, I'm good.
I think it comes down to, can Mike Brown get the very best out of the players that are on the roster? And in that, if there is a question, I say make a trade. Right? If there is a gap in the strategy that can't be fixed by Mike Brown's schemes, then go get a player. Right? He don't have to be here for the long term. He can be here for the short term. Right? I feel like the ball handling is not the issue. Right? What I feel like is when Mitch is on the bench and Cat is on the floor by himself, the Knicks are very tiny. In sub packages, I mean. Right? I think the Knicks need a jumbo wing, Jaren Jackson Jr. type addition. The archetype, not the player, but the archetype. Right? Like a Santi Aldama, a Jaren Jackson Jr., kind of what OKC does with Chet Holmgren. Like Chet is not the full-time center. Chet can play center, but he's not the full-time center. Right? Yep. If the Knicks can somehow get that, whether it's on the roster, in free agency, or trade, I think that's the move to be made.
The question is, how do we get it?
And
what are we gonna give up? Because Yabu trade value is like in the toilet. Like, who are we gonna give up to get him? So what we need, right? We have to give up something. And with those guys' trade value being in the toilet, now you're talking about giving up one of the kids or giving up you know what I'm saying, one of your core pieces. Like, how you gonna get what you need?
I think the answer to that too is, what is your goal? If your goal is to win in June 2026, then the draft is also in June 2026, where you can get another kid.
Okay.
Right. Now,
so we willing to give up the youth. I'm all good with that. If this is what we need to win.
No, I'm merely saying, if that is the goal, if the goal is all in for June 2026, then that should be the move. Right? Now, if the goal is to have a sustainable winner and guys can grow together year over year and then get better using chemistry and time together, right? If the goal is to be a championship contender for the long haul, then I say don't trade the kids. Let the kids experience those high leverage minutes, right? Because the energy that you use in a playoff game is like playing a double overtime game in a regular season. That's the energy you use. Because every loose ball, every shot, every pass, every dribble, everything is heavily contested in the playoffs. Every minute of every game matters in the playoffs, especially once you get past round one. Most teams are just about even. Most teams. When you get to the Elite Eight, so to speak, everybody is going to have one or two stars on their team. Once you get past the first round, every team is going to have a Tatum and Brown, a Garland and Mitchell and Mobley, a Cade and whoever, a SGA, Chet Williams, Luka, LeBron, Murray, Jokic type situation. Once you get to the second round, right? And in that, can we depend on Mike Brown to outcoach playoff coaches for 4 consecutive rounds? Or do we need to get him some help? I think that's the question. Because the answer can't be, in my opinion, the answer can't be, well, we lost to Indiana last year. All we got to do is do what we did last year and we'll win the title. I don't think that's the answer. And how I know that to be true is the Knicks didn't think that, or they would have kept Tibbs. The Knicks know they have to do something different. That's why Tibbs is not here no more. Right? And so if you're looking at the eggs and all the eggs in one basket scenario, I think you make that move, the big move. If you believe in the core, I say go in with what you got.
Are you leaning one way or another?
That's a great question, Jay.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's a great question is we don't have a precedent from Mike Brown and this core.
Right.
If this was Mike Brown's second year,
right.
then we can go off the evidence from Mike Brown's first year.
Exactly.
But since Mike Brown is new, we don't know. And so we're like, it's like we're in a showdown with the Riddler. There are more questions than there are answers. And any question that's not answered 100% solid leaves a hole in your strategy. And I know that sounds like do or die, but in the playoffs, it's do or die. Right? There is no lose the series and then you come back tomorrow. Is it you lose the series and you go home for the summer?
Yeah. So that's I was feeling that. I was feeling we can't really answer the question necessarily regarding the coach because the coach we haven't seen it. For us at least. And we may not have liked a lot of things Tibbs did, but we knew him. So we knew what to expect and what to not expect. And time for like figuring out and tampering and as far as like, should I put him in right now or you think this might work? No, that has to be fully because sometimes I feel that Brown, and I think we all felt it. I remember all of our attitudes, with Brown when that losing streak was happening.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything directly, but I remember. Oh, I just got to go. And you know what? I could understand that because, I felt like there was one too many brain farts. I'm going to put it mildly, kind of like, what are you doing? Why you do that? What are you doing? Why? And if you can't have that, because like you said, if you're going into it's double, maybe triple the amount of necessary on the spot coaching, like dialed down, dialed in,
right?
And I have seen Mike Brown miss sometimes. But I think that the fair answer, if we want to be fair, is I would answer that better in a month.
All right.
Right.
Right. You know what I
I
mean?
think it's hard to answer that question
in fairness
because
to this conversation, though, in fairness to what we're talking about right now, the trade deadline is in 2 days.
Right.
yes.
And so we don't have a month.
No. Oh no. Yeah. No, we do not have a month.
Right. In
Me
fairness
personally,
to the conversation that's on the table right now.
right.
Right. If the question was, how do you see this team long term? I think we could start with, let's look at this team in a month. But if we're talking about what Leon Rose is going to do in the next 62 hours.
I honestly hope nothing. Because I feel like whatever he do ain't gonna be right. And not that I don't trust Leon, because he got us quite a few pieces that that he got this team together. But I feel like sometimes you tinker just a little bit too much. If it's a small thing, yeah. But the big splash, please leave my team alone.
Let
Please.
me tell y'all what I think. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think the biggest flaw was with last year's team, the playoffs. The biggest flaw with last year's team is when Indiana punched us in the mouth, we couldn't recover.
Yep.
Indiana was
Right.
running like 10 players though, and we were running like 4.
I know, but
So
and listen, and the thing I'm getting at is not that we couldn't beat Indiana. We all felt like we should have beat Indiana. I personally feel like the Knicks should have won the NBA title in 2025.
that's how
what
I feel.
I feel like, and I'm not telling anybody else to feel that way. I'm saying that's how I feel. Right? I personally feel like the Knicks should have been the NBA champs in 2024. Right? I feel like the Knicks should have been the NBA champs in 2023. Right? But here's the thing. When the momentum swings and you get hit, it proved, and I'm not saying the Knicks are soft, and I'm not saying that we need to go get Desmond Bain or Draymond Green. What I'm saying is, in that Indiana game 1, when we had that huge lead and they whittled it down, and Tyrese Halliburton hit that miracle shot over Mitchell Robinson to win game 1, I think that took something out of us.
You're taking something out of me right now.
Right. And so I'm not saying that the Knicks roster had a roster flaw. Oh, we didn't play enough people. I felt like when the chips were down, Jalen Brunson in that Indiana series didn't have a dependable second scorer that we can depend on every night to be the second guy. Right? Because Jalen Brunson, for how great he is, when you force him to be Michael Jordan, he shows flaws. Right? Because he's not Michael Jordan. He's not Kobe. He's Jalen. Right?
Say that again for me. I have heard it. Say it again. No, not all of it. You said when you choose it, when you ask him to be Michael Jordan. Say what you said after that.
When we ask Jalen Brunson to be Michael Jordan, he falls short.
Okay.
Because there is only one Michael Jordan. Right? Okay. When we ask Jalen to be Kobe, he falls short because there is only one Kobe. Right?
There's also a double meaning in there.
Right. And so in the Indiana series, where Indiana put a 6'6" defender on JB and trapped to try to get the ball out of his hands, we didn't have a consistent guy that we could go to punish the Indiana Pacers for trapping Jalen Brunson.
And there's a double meaning.
Right. And so I'm not knocking Jalen Brunson. What I'm saying is there are only so many Michael Jordans that are born. Right. And in the NBA, the closest thing that we get to that is whoever the league MVP is, or the top 3 MVP guys, whether it's Giannis or Luka or SGA or whoever, right? That can beat any defense, right? And if you notice, those guys that I mentioned are big, tall scorers. And I'm not knocking JB. What I'm saying is, if JB is going to get you 33 points a game in the playoffs and you still lose by 8, that means somebody somewhere else wasn't consistently getting you a release valve, right? We didn't have a complementary piece, or we didn't use our complementary piece, because the complementary piece may have been there and maybe we just didn't use it. But we have to be able to get the best of Jalen and get the best of one or two other players. Now, defensively, OG and Bridges and Mitch were elite. And when you talk about 50-50 balls, Karl-Anthony Towns in the playoffs was like, those contested rebounds in traffic, Cat was clutch. Shot go up, is 3 Indiana Pacers, and Cat come down with the ball. In the box score, it looks like 1 rebound. But to Indiana, that's a backbreaker. You got 3 yellow jerseys and 1 white jersey, and the white jersey come down with the ball. That's a backbreaker. The same thing for Mitch. And so going into the playoffs, do we have a guy that can be that Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan, that Shaquille O'Neal to Kobe Bryant? Do we have that guy on the roster? Or can that guy
Yes and no.
exist in that role?
Yeah, yes and no, right? And this is my fear going into the playoffs if we continue to play this style of basketball, right? And while it's great and we on a 6-game winning streak, I still don't feel like they're utilizing Karl-Anthony Towns the way they're supposed to. Cat should not ever leave a game with 11 points. Like, everybody has the offshoot at night, but if this is what you want from him, this is going to be a problem in the playoffs. And I say that because now, if OG Anunoby continues to play this way and he takes this into the playoffs and he's this player, we have 0 problems. We have our Scottie Pippen. But we all know that OG Anunoby goes into slumps, right?
Right.
He's great for a month, and then the next month you're like, what happened? Where's the 3 ball? Like, I don't know where his offense went.
Right.
So he's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Right.
So going into the playoffs, there's my fear. I know what the guys are capable of. I believe that their talent can prevail and they can win, but the right people have to show up. And this is why Mike Brown's system is flawed when it comes to Cat. Because no matter how you feel about him, he can get you 20 to 25 points a game if you use him properly.
Yeah.
All
And
the way
you're
up
not
to 40.
using him properly. You're using him in the system the way you want to use him in the system. But come playoff time, you need somebody to consistently score. And he's the next person behind Jalen that can probably get you that 20 to 25 points that you need. We don't know if OG's going to bring that to you every night. We don't know if Josh Hart's three is going to fall every night. We don't know if Mikal Bridges' three is going to fall every night. But what we do know is that Cat is usually the most talented player in the front court, and he can probably get you that 20 to 25 points a night. So
Hey,
here, that's where my concern comes from going into the playoffs with this system. But if it all comes together, it all comes together. Because it all looks good, right? Because we're on a 6-game winning streak. But when we get into the playoffs and the pressure turns up, and you putting a little bit more of and they letting you get a little more handsy with OG, is he still going to be that consistent? We all know the hands are a little suspect. Is he still going to be able to drive right to the basket? Like,
well,
and there's my concern.
Tori,
There's-
let me disagree with you a little bit on that, because I understand where you're going, and I agree with you in a heartfelt way up to a certain point. I think we do know what OG Anunoby is, right? Because if OG Anunoby could ever be that, the Raptors would never have drafted Scotty Barnes. Right. Yep. We know Mikal Bridges is a system scorer. When your system is falling apart, Mikal Bridges is not going to score. We know that. Yep. He scores within the flow of an offense. But if your offense doesn't have a flow, guess what you don't get from Bridges? Scoring. Right? And there's no knock on him, because he's the definition of a system player. When the system is working, he is working, right? The thing with OG is there are going to be some nights where you can see OG Anunoby and Luka Doncic go night for night, and then there are going to be nights where Michael Porter Jr. is going to outduel OG Anunoby. And it's frustrating, but that's who OG is. And I think we have to live with that, right? The thing is with Brunson, we know there is no schemable defense with a defender that can guard Jalen Brunson one-on-one. If they could, Jalen Brunson wouldn't be a top 15 scorer in the NBA. We know JB can score, and when the rubber meets the road, JB might average 39 points a game like he did in that Philadelphia series against Tyrese Maxey 2 years ago. Right? We can't forget about that. That series against Philadelphia, when our offense was falling apart, where it was JB and Dante together, fist for fist, where you couldn't just not. Philly had to double team them. And even in those double teams, Jalen Brunson was averaging 39 points a game. And when they tried to scheme a double team and a exotic defense behind it, Dante DiVincenzo made team pay. Right?
Bananas.
Right. Because if y'all remember in that Philadelphia series, all the times that Mike Breen said bang, you know who he was saying bang for, right? Dante DiVincenzo.
That's right.
Right. And so while we know who JB is, we know who Bridges is, we know who OG is, do we have that guy when we get punched in the mouth that we can answer back in those moments where JB is maybe doesn't have it going, or maybe he's on the bench? Right? If y'all remember that Miami series that we lost to Miami when Julius Randle had the black eye and the double sprained ankle and still played, all we needed was for one guy to pick up the slack a little bit. Tom Thibodeau didn't choose to play Evan Fournier or Derrick Rose. Right? When we just needed buckets, Tibbs was like, I ain't playing Rose or Fournier. We were out there with RJ Barrett and Grimes, and they were too young to be big in those moments. Right? But that's then, and this is now. The coach is different. The team is different. Right? And that game one that we lost to Indiana, I felt like Indiana broke our back and we put up a courageous fight, even though that game one loss to Indiana after having a 18-point lead late in the third quarter, coming back, Tyrese Maxey just kept hitting shots on us, and there was nothing that we can do about it. And it broke our spirit.
And we had to hear Reggie Miller say,
Yeah, we had.
Oh my God, bro! You the memories. You know what? It's so crazy is because when Tori was talking, I agreed with every single and coming off of the last time we talked, I was like, this is amazing stuff. I'm agreeing with every single thing she's saying. But the one thing I did was exactly that. It's like we know we don't necessarily know with them because of the, you know, my take's a little bit different. It's like, or maybe you said it. Maybe you said it like I feel like OG goes into La La Land sometimes, like, you know, and he'll do
but
some
that's
things.
who he is.
And
After
that's who
9
he
years in the
is.
league, you can't expect anything different.
Right. And we know that is what I'm saying. It's something that we know. So but besides that, I agreed with every single thing that Tori said. And so after saying that, you know, you're I feel like asking you once again the same question I asked you before. Do we gotta make a move?
That's the thing. That's the thing, that those things that we have to consider, because when you say move doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave Earth and go to Mars. Move might mean you move across town, right? Right. Move doesn't mean you have to trade for Giannis. Move might mean, hey, activate Kev McCullough off his two-way and add him to the roster. Right? Move might be move can mean several different things. Right? These are the things that I consider. Like when I watch Knicks games, I legit don't do a lot of talking to the game because I feel like I'm living the game as it play out. Like every screen, every back action, every substitution pattern, every missed free throw is ingrained in my memory bank. And that's why when people say, man, how do you remember all that stuff? It's because I live and die with these games, and I shouldn't, but I fan the way I want to fan. That's why I don't criticize people for the way that they fan. Whether you are a diehard fan, live in any moment, whether you watch maybe one game a week, maybe you buy all the jerseys that the Knicks wear, however you fan is how you fan, and I applaud that. With me, every jump ball, every out of bounds, every dead ball out of bounds play, right? Every play that we run, every back screen, every ghost screen, every pin down, I live that. That stuff is ingrained in my mind. That's why when we have the conversations about should we just make a move? I'm thinking like, well, maybe when Mitch set the screen and rolled to the rim, how about we just give Mitch the ball, because he already has momentum going to the rim. All he has to do is jump in the air and dunk. That's the type of stuff that I'm thinking about. Right? Like why would we eat out every night when we got plenty of food in the kitchen? Is what I'm thinking. That's why when folks ask me, should we do a move? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if can we find a better role man than Mitchell Robinson. Sure, we can find a better role man than Mitch. But if you replace Mitch, are you going to get the best defender in the NBA? Pound for pound, the best defender in the NBA is Mitchell Robinson.
And the best offensive rebounder.
Yep.
Etc.
Yep. That's
And
that's
I
what.
feel like he's at the healthiest he's been probably. He looks strong. He's looking strong. Yeah.
And it's February.
And every time,
Mm.
right? I
And
think
it's
about
February.
these. I think about these moves. I go back and I say the same thing.
Right.
Can you find better anything? You could find a better JB. You could find a better Cat. You could
Yeah.
find a better McHale, a better OG, a better Josh. Can you find it all on the same team?
That's the thing.
And
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 what are
and
you
I
gonna
keep
what are you
saying,
gonna pay? What's
you
the
could find a
price?
better Deuce, you could find a better Shamit.
Yeah.
Can you find all of these things on the same team?
And Tori, the thing that gets me is if you can find a better cat, what's the asking price?
Right. Right. So to get the better cat, you're gonna have to give up the cat you have plus two or three of your core players, right? And
Right.
now that team has the better cat, the better OG,
Right.
the
Right.
better
You feel
Mitch,
me?
and you've torn apart the team that you got. You can find a better everybody, but you're
Right.
never gonna find that much talent on one team.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen.
It's
You go
just
through
that
our 1 through 8, and I will take them against anybody.
that's the point that I'm getting at. Like, can we find a better player X, or can Mike Brown scheme away our weaknesses?
Uh,
That's why when Jay said see me in a month, I was like, ooh, I don't know, dog. Because in a month we can't make no more moves. You know what I'm saying? Because it was great. The statement he made was a great statement. It would have been, but unfortunately, come Thursday afternoon, you're
right.
just about locked into your team. Of
I
course,
be
there's the
feeling
buyout
like
market, but you don't
I,
expect a buyout guy to come in here and be a difference maker.
I
Right.
feel like
But
they trying to okey doke us, like they trying to convince us that we not good enough. So we start making a bunch of moves and mess up the team. That's what I feel like. Feel
Here's
like
my
it's
thing
media
about
propaganda.
and indeed, but here's my thing about Giannis. When Giannis puts on that Knicks jersey for the first time, he may be the greatest Knick or the most accomplished Knick to ever wear a Knick jersey.
Right.
As soon as he put the jersey on, he's got an MVP award, he's got a championship, he's averaged 30 points a game, he's done all these things in another city. And in Mike Brown's offense, where you need a freight train to grab a rebound and just freight train it to the rim, Giannis is outside of LeBron. Outside of Miami Heat LeBron, we've never seen a better freight train type guy in the open floor. Right? Giannis is the second coming of Miami's LeBron.
He is a generational talent.
Right. But the
Period.
price you got to pay to get him.
Right. But just because he's a generational talent doesn't mean that you need that guy to get to
Right.
your ultimate goal. I'm not
Right.
saying you turn your nose up at no Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why would you do that? Right?
Nah.
You look to make the move. But
Right.
at what cost?
Right.
You have to be careful what you do because then you will end up in the same exact spot. Yes, I have Giannis, and yes, I have JB, and what else I got? We still not
And what
winning.
else do I have? It's the
Right.
it's the Lamborghini argument.
Right.
I can give you a Lamborghini for free, but
You
are you
gotta
willing to
keep it.
pay the car insurance for it, the maintenance for it, the tires? And your paint get chipped in New York City? You gonna have to. It's gonna cost you $20,000 to paint that car.
Never mind the paint get chip. You can't park outside, so you paying for parking fees. Paying
Right.
for parking garages at $60 an hour in Manhattan. Do the
Yes.
math, bros.
and the top of the line gasoline, you ain't never getting the 89 again.
You ain't never buying lawnmower gas to put in your car ever again.
Ever again. Ever again. You can't park next to a curb. You
Right.
can't park at the mall. You got to park way far away, valet.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
matter of fact, I'm lying. I'm not letting nobody drive that car.
Right.
I'll do valet, but I'm parking it.
Right.
So
Right.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like
This the God honest truth, bro.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
I know somebody right now that got a brand new Ultima. They won't even go park it near anybody, and that's the Ultima. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's
Yeah.
just how it works.
That's just how it works,
So
bro.
that's how it works. So you know what? I'm gonna say this: not knowing if Mike Brown could do that, because I don't know. We don't know if he could do that, and seeing some of the things I've seen and feeling some of the things I've felt, there's only two answers. I'm gonna give two completely different answers, and then by the time the show ends, I'm gonna pick one. All right. These are the two completely different answers. One is I absolutely do nothing with the team because I love the team just the way it is, and um, I keep the kids as call the Diawara. They're coming to the playoffs. Um, Kolek, of course, and I I don't know. Could you leave what's his face off the thing and bring um the young man that we're talking about that just damn my brain, that the little Josh Hart.
McCullough.
Yeah, yeah. Could you not bring Yabu? Or is he on the roster? Gotta come.
He's on the roster. I think
Yeah,
that's one
he's
of the reasons. I think in a perfect world, the Knicks
yep.
want to trade. I think the Knicks want to trade Yabusele for Jeremy Sohan.
I,
I
Well,
think
I
I
that's
think
think
they
that
would
deal
trade
got
him
shut
for. I
down.
think they would trade him for anybody that could do something.
right.
Not just.
Didn't
I mean, Jeremy'd be nice, but we got turned down by the Spurs already for Jeremy Sohan,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
what I
not going to
thought.
happen.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. They're not the Spurs
yeah,
are not going to do that.
yeah. They too smart for that.
Yeah.
Like
You
it's
gotta give them a guy. You have to give them a guy.
right.
Like you got to give them something because Jeremy Sohan, while he's not playing, he's still valuable. It's like Jonathan Kuminga with Golden State. That's why Golden State hadn't been accepting any trades because they know the potential for him to is he can be something in the league. He's just not playing for us.
Right. Here's my second part. I'm not making a small trade. I'm making a big trade, most likely with one of my. I'll just say it. One of my wing players, because right now you could get the most for. If I had to take a look at, I'm gonna put two people together. Put Mikal Bridges and put Deuce next to each other. You could get more for Bridges and still get really good scoring, pretty good defense, comparably. I'm saying comparably to Mikal defense with Deuce coming off the bench. And I'm going to make a move to go get that not just that wing, but that large turkey wing barbecued perfectly, to add to the team. Because in that case, but you have to do some real quick research on who you could do and what you could do for that. Because I don't think a small move is silly, because we don't need to do a small move. We have all the players. We have to either go say this is the year, right? We're gonna win this year, right? And you're gonna have to go out and get, I don't know. Tell me what it takes. Tell me what it takes to get a Triple J. Tell me what it takes to get somebody like that.
You're talking
You're
about
gonna have,
me?
yeah, in
I don't know.
general,
I don't know. Yeah, the teams will figure it out.
yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But like, with primarily keeping most of our team in the same spot, utilizing one of our guys with
And all
whatever
you
else.
getting back is Triple J.
Um,
Probably.
So we
Probably
giving
because
up.
we don't have much to give
We
away.
giving up our best, one of our best defenders, and we know how he turned up in the playoffs, and one of our best bench players for one guy.
Oh,
He's
wait a
not
minute. Y'all
good.
talking about Bridges
Wait,
for Triple J? Nah, that ain't gonna work.
Bridges,
That
Bridges,
ain't gonna work because
and
Bridges
Deuce.
make more money than him
by a lot.
by like $13 million, $12 million.
Yeah,
I didn't know
but
that's what
triple.
y'all was talking about.
Yeah, but
Not
Triple J is no slouch
on defense.
on either
I'm just,
on either way.
no, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
asking.
He remember he was defensive player of the year.
I'm not.
yeah.
No, no,
He's a
no.
beast.
Please don't think that I don't know how good he is or how. I'm just asking if we're giving up two of our best players for one guy. Like, is this guy worth two of our best players?
Oh, I didn't say two. I was asking.
Oh, okay. I thought you said McCall and Deuce.
No. I said you put them next to each other. If you put
Ah,
them next to
understood.
each
Understood.
other,
I thought you meant
you know,
trading them both.
right?
Understood.
Because my meaning on that is, if we're trading Deuce for the money Deuce has or whatever it is, what can we get for that? But if you trade
What?
McHale for the money, then we got to figure out we could get way more back.
Yeah.
And so in that case, Triple J and somebody else to make the money work. Would you do that? And yes, I know he gets busy in the playoffs, and I guess I do
No, no,
that.
no.
But what Triple J does is get super busy as well, and could score a lot too on a
Okay.
regular basis.
Okay. I'm
You
not.
know,
I'm not. As familiar with him, but
yeah.
I was
I
just
had did
asking.
some research too myself, to be honest with you. Um, I knew him for a bit, but I didn't know just how good he was at it. And yeah, he's player, defensive
Yeah,
player.
Triple J
Yeah,
is
is a
probably a
monster.
top 15 defender in the league.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we're being modest.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's modest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you could, and at the end of games, if you can go a lineup of
Oh,
Deuce,
say it for me.
Bridges, OG, Triple J, and Mitch, a team won't
Yep.
be able to score. They
Okay.
have to shoot. They have to shoot the ball from where
So
Clyde
then,
Frazier at.
so I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
but if there's a way to get him, right? Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the in terms of the Triple J the acquisition, you'd have to part with
OG.
probably you have to probably part with Josh and some other stuff and some draft picks. Like you have to part with Josh, Mo Diawara, Tyler Kolek, all your young valuable pieces, and your draft picks in the future
Now,
for Triple J.
and this is probably
for
why
Triple J.
the Knicks won't be making any moves.
That's why the Knicks probably won't be making any moves.
Because in order
Right.
to get anything, because we don't have draft capital, we're gonna have to give away too many pieces to get the things that we want, and then we are literally right back at square one.
Right.
Right.
So for all the we should do this, we should do that, maybe we'll do it, it ain't never happening. Because in order to get the guy, we're gonna have to get rid of too many guys.
Right. Okay.
It's
All
just-
right.
That's probably whether we want it to be this way or not. That's probably why we're not. It's a gift and a curse, right?
Are we
It's a
painted in a
gift.
corner? Are we painted in a corner?
I feel like we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely are
I mean,
because
I
he's
think
such an
Fritz would know that better
acquisition.
than any of us. But I feel like we are painted. We painted ourselves in a corner, but we painted ourselves in a corner with a lot of talent.
Yeah,
And
I think we
we're-
painted ourselves in a corner in a beautiful house.
Yeah, I'm not as nervous about this group as I think most people are. I saw it already. I saw what this group can do. So I'm not worried about them.
That's
We
why I
all
put
saw
up the
it.
two things. Either we absolutely do nothing because we have a team that we know and we
Right.
love them and we know what they could do, or there is a guy out there who, Memphis is in the yard sale right now, and he's
That's
been
what Triple
mentioned
J
many
play for?
times.
Or you talking about
Yeah.
Sadiq Bey and them?
No,
Right?
Jared Jackson Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sadiq Bey played for the Pelicans.
Both trash teams, but yes.
Yeah, both. Right, exactly. So we
But
digging in the garbage,
Right.
but those guys are not garbage. Just like we could be honest with ourselves. John Morant's not garbage. He just a headache. It's just different.
He could never play here. He would be in
Not in
trouble
New
every
York
other
City,
day.
not in Brooklyn, not nowhere near
Oh
this
God.
area.
Yeah, he'd be in trouble
Not
every
in
day.
Philly, not nowhere. Yeah.
No, not no place where there's urban crime.
Right. And Memphis is bad enough as it is. If I've been out to Memphis,
I
it's
don't know why the
violent.
NBA don't move that franchise. That's got to be a hazard. Get them out of there
Word. Put them in Idaho.
somewhere, anywhere quiet.
Welcome to Idaho, Grizzlies. So, but
Yep, Jay, I ever told you about I went to the Memphis game and they were face painting the kids and like they had a line of like they had like the cheerleaders and the dancers and all that stuff. They have the face painting and all that. And the Grizzlies went on like a 14-0 run on the Knicks, right? Kids getting face paint and all that stuff. And all the little kids, and I'm talking about babies, I'm talking about like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, was chanting in the arena, whoop that trick.
You did.
Ooh.
And I couldn't
You remember that from
believe
Hustle and
it.
Flow?
Yep.
Remember that from Hustle and Flow?
Hustle and
Not
Flow.
the babies though.
Yep,
Yeah,
the babies.
I'm talking about the babies. But it did smell like barbecue in there. That barbecue was busting.
And you know what? You know where it came from? Fingertips. It was not even a piece in the
Anthony
house. It was
Anderson.
all from fingertips.
They came in the game smelling
Anthony
like
Anderson.
barbecue sauce.
They came in there. People were dribbling it, still licking the finger.
Yeah.
Yo,
man.
but all jokes aside, if possible, that would be an amazing move for us because just like Breezy said, with the lineup that he just said, I think that you could pretty much have maybe 90% of this league score 66 a game if they were able to play a whole game with that lineup.
Right.
So
right. And they switchable. And Jaren Jackson can guard Paolo. He can guard Tatum. He can guard Brown. He can guard Cade. Any of them got Franz Wagner, any of them guys. But here's the fear in these last 10 minutes we got, y'all. Here's the fear. Here's my fear And I'm not gonna say I'm out on the ledge like how I was with Cowboy Bob last night, but what I will say, I'm definitely out in the cold smoking a cigarette on this. Right.
The guy was yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm nervous about. Not what the Knicks are going to do at the trade deadline, but what the other contenders in the East are going to do at the deadline.
Don't say that because now I want to go get him.
See, because as we speak, the Cleveland Cavaliers are trying to get James Harden.
Yep.
To have a Harden and Spider duo come playoff time.
With the two,
it sounds great, right? Doesn't it sound great?
It sounds great,
but when you had Harden and it was him and Kyrie when they was with the Nets, right?
Yeah.
Who was over there? Harden, Kyrie, and somebody else. Who went over there?
Kevin Durant.
And what did they win?
A free trip home.
Exactly.
They were Kevin Durant size 16 from beating the Bucks in the playoffs. Remember that?
But
the three Kevin Durant hit, but his foot was on the line.
Yep.
And the Nets lost and the Bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
So here you go. You putting yourself in that place, and you don't got to be in that place because what has he ever done? Everybody that keep trying to build these super teams and it ain't working. The last super team that worked out was the Golden State Warriors. Like, get out of here.
But they were super before Durant.
And that wasn't even a super team. That was a well-drafted, well-composed
it was a well-put
team.
together team by Mark Jackson, and then he got kicked out.
Right, by Mark. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. Yeah.
But no, they had a great team. You had Klay Thompson, you had Steph Curry, and then you added Kevin Durant to that.
Iguodala.
Right. They had a great that was a super team.
Iguodala won the MVP.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Sean Livingston.
That's the last time it worked.
Yeah.
So I ain't worried about that. Go get what you
want. Matter of fact, they won with David Lee.
Cleveland is bulking up because they keep failing.
Right.
Like they keep making it doesn't matter who they get. They can never get over the hump. I feel like that's their curse.
I feel you. My only thing is what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
If we say they didn't do nothing and we looking in the mirror.
No, I didn't. No. I'm not saying we did something. Please don't. Please don't.
No, I know. That's what you're saying. I'm saying when I heard what you said, I'm thinking based off of what you said. When I look in the mirror, I'm like,
right.
It's because basically the point of it all is talent. Talent accumulation doesn't always win championships.
Right.
But it does make the path easier. You just got to have the right type talent.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But if you take a page out of OKC's book, not that we are the Oklahoma City Thunder, they built their team organically and they don't have a roster full of superstars. And they're still NBA champions.
Yeah.
You don't need that. What you need is a group of guys to buy in and play together.
Yeah. I do still think though, and this is not going against your strategy, I do still think though that we've got to find that Robin to Batman consistently in the playoffs.
Right.
I think we have to have that guy. Now I think we can make that guy.
Or let me ask you this, right? Do we need the Robin to the Batman, or do we need somebody to fill in for points that night?
No, that never worked.
No, we need a steady doing.
Because this is what we're doing now.
You're right.
We're winning by committee.
Right. That never works because the reason why it doesn't is because when you ask a role player to be something outside of himself, right? That means you're asking a limited player to give you more than 100% of themselves.
Okay.
Right. And I know people like, yo, I gave it 110%. No, you don't. Because that means you gave 100% of yourself and then a percentage from someone else. And that's not how life works. Right. You can't give 150% of yourself.
Right.
You've never seen 1.5 of yourself. Right. But the thing is though, is if you're asking me, can we develop a system where we can elevate our role players and put them in the best position to be successful? That's the question that we asked about an hour ago about Mike Brown. Can Mike Brown do that? Can he put our guys in a place to in the best position to win?
Because we don't have any actual playoff uh uh games to go to, you can
Right.
only go to what you've already seen, right?
Right.
And we all, I think, can agree on that cup run being playoff like atmosphere.
Yeah.
So you can only go to those moments and
Yeah.
and answer those questions. And if you go into those moments to answer those questions, then you already know that he's more than willing to do the necessary things to win.
Right.
Because we
Right.
watched him bench Mikal Bridges
Yeah.
for Tyler Kolek to win that game.
Yeah. Play the hot hand. Yeah.
We watched it in real time. So one can
Yep.
only say that going into other high pressure situations that he will do the same thing. Because that's all we have to draw from.
Right. Sounds like there are more questions than answers.
And so, of course, because we have a new coach
Yep.
and we don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying?
And a very young team. Not young, but a new team. It feels like Bridges has been here forever. He's only
But he
been here a
hasn't.
year and a half.
Same as Cat.
It's the same as Cat. OG has only been here for 2.5 years.
Right.
Right? Josh has
Right.
been here for 3.5 years.
Right.
And JP has been here for 4. This is his 4th trip. 4th year here. Right? And so we're in that weird spot of, can these guys gel? It's ultimately Mike Brown has to. I think what Leon Rose is going to do, because you have the 3 options. Basically, you have the you got the hot hand. You won $900. Are you going to push it into the middle of the table and let it ride? Right? For anybody that ever played roulette, you at the roulette table, you don't won $900. You started off with $200. You got up to $900, and you feeling lucky. Are you going to push that $900 to the middle of the table? Or are you going to take that $900 home? Right? And I think Leon Rose is at that mesh point of he's got his hands on those chips. And we don't know if he's going to push them forward or put them things in his pocket. Right? That's why the next 2 days is going to be fascinating. Chat, y'all better keep y'all phones on the charger, because you already know it's going to be hot and heavy. Don't underestimate the Detroit Pistons going out and acquiring the star to go next to Cade. Cleveland is already working on it right now. Right? What are the Knicks going to do? Right? Teams
They got
are
a bunch of teams looking at other people too. Miami, all
Yep.
sorts of people are looking at it.
right.
I mean, everybody has to do their due diligence.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're not the only team looking for people. Everybody doing their due diligence. It's not we could do but sit back and wait and see.
Right. Or do we take those pieces off the table that others can't get to? That's where things are going to get interesting. right?
Well, we
And
only
then
got another day, right? When's this trading deadline?
Thursday afternoon.
Oh,
At
we got
3
Oh
o'clock.
God, I
It's
really wish it
over at
was
3.
tomorrow. I wish it was today.
and,
It's like I wish it was today.
but here's the thing, hey Torby, here's the thing. This season is flying by, yo.
Yes, it is.
This season is flying by, yo.
Yeah, when you say that, it makes me feel older.
Yeah, man. Think about all the conversations we had like over the season thus far. Right.
Yep.
All the conversations we had. And come Thursday afternoon for the Thursday night show, the Thursday night show might be the busiest show that we had all year up to date. Thursday is going to be the most interesting show because we're going to be talking about who we could have had and talk about all the rumors and such. And maybe we'll be talking about, will I be buying that Giannis City Edition jersey? Or we might be talking about Leon Rose is more interested in us being the 90s Knicks, being a steady contender every year, and every couple of years we'll get our act together and make the finals. Or he might take them chips that he won and push them all into the middle of the table to go get a guy. It's gonna be interesting. Chat, thank y'all for coming through, rocking with us. Man, we appreciate y'all. Tori B and Jay with these hard ass questions. Yeah.
You the one
Look,
with
I
the
can't.
questions, son.
I
Got your
can't.
man's up here thinking. Shit.
All we doing is stressing ourselves out.
Yeah, shit. Right. That's
all
all
we're
we're
doing.
doing until Thursday afternoon, y'all. But thank y'all everybody for coming through. We appreciate y'all. Man, we're gonna get out of here. Peace, everybody.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my